It's lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. You know how I know it's Thursday?
How do you know?
Because Captain Steubing's in the studio.
Captain Steubing?
In the house.
He is in the house.
I want to say welcome to all our friends across the U.S. and also in Europe. We're doing a very nice job of sharing, because sharing is caring. But today I want to open up with a very special thing.
Okay.
Something happened yesterday.
Yes.
Something happened yesterday that I have to admit shook my world. I mean, I've seen some of the greatest basketball, football players play the game. Some baseball players, some of the greatest. No, I didn't see Mickey Mantle, but some of the other greatest. Okay? And yesterday, this kid, Pete Alonso from the New York Mets, did something I have never heard or watched in professional sports. He bought his team cleats memorizing 9/11. And that is against the rules of Major League Baseball. And he says, find me. And he bought cleats for all of them. Now, the call-ups and everybody else, there's over 50 guys on the team right now. Managers, everybody wore these cleats with 9/11 put on them. And they had 9/11, never forget, the whole nine. The Twin Towers on the shoes, painted on the shoes, and they play. But the miraculous thing about this kid is that they end up winning yesterday, scoring 9 runs and getting 11 hits. 9/11. And everybody was like, what? Then they asked the team, did you guys stop hitting? Because they had 2 innings left. They just ran this team over. And he says, we didn't stop hitting. We didn't realize it was 9/11 until after the game.
This gave me the chills.
And yesterday, you had me do this.
Our paper towel test, yes.
And people laugh. But yesterday we did this, and they won. There are only 2 games. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Dylan. Dylan ain't paying attention. There are only 2 games out of the last wild card game. Doesn't mean they're going to get there, but what a ride. This kid won the home run derby, and I don't care. I want to hear about how he had to beat a guy who hit 100 to get there. I don't want to hear it. He won it fair and square. This kid leads the major leagues in home runs, 47. He's a rookie. And this kid bleeds New York.
I've never met anyone that loves baseball other than my dad until you.
It isn't even about baseball.
Honestly, you love baseball.
I love what this kid is doing as a person. This guy was a school teacher when 9/11 happened in Tampa.
How old is he?
I don't know. That's why it makes no sense. I think it was his father was a school teacher, and I read the article was wrong. Has to be. He's only 24.
Then he couldn't have been a school teacher.
When he was in school.
Yes.
In Tampa.
Because you're talking 18 years ago.
Yes, but I read it. It says school teacher. It had to be that he was a kid in Tampa. Yes.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing about this kid is that he gave $50,000 to kids that were affected by
families. You said right.
Right. 11 kids of 9/11 that perished are now firemen in the New York City Fire Department. They were children when these people went down. But I'm gonna give you a bigger kicker. We have a gentleman here that we met.
We haven't even met.
I don't even know his first name.
Week, Scott.
Scott.
I don't know Scott's first name. But the amazing thing about Scott told me a story over there. You want to hear chills? Scott, and I'll let you say the story.
Sure.
Was supposed to be in the building on the day.
Wow.
Yeah. I was selling for a company selling items that make up the internet. And I was a traveling salesman. So I went to New York and I put on presentations. Well, 9/11 was the date for just another day of going up there and doing a presentation. And I had written a speech ahead of time because I'm not a New Yorker, but I wanted them to have a feeling of who I am and through my eyes of what I see of your city, you know. And I started off by writing, I'm at the top of the World Trade Center, and this is what I think about your city. Well, unfortunately, 2 weeks before, or fortunately, before the World Trade Center went down, they changed my dates. They moved me to a different hotel, but I was supposed to be there. I had tickets, and I was actually going to travel to the very top of the World Trade Center that morning so I could give a rendition of what I see. And so when that morning, I was actually calling in to all of my people who I was supposed to have a meeting with and say, you know, sorry, you know, today was the day, you know, we'll get back with you and that sort of thing. Well, during the phone calls, there was a disruption in the phone lines. I was calling into the World Trade Center.
On 9/11.
Yeah.
Wow.
I recycled my Facebook page, and next thing I know, I saw something saying something happened across the very top in red. You know, they didn't have any photos yet at the World Trade Center.
Wow.
And so it came to find out, of course, we all know what happened afterwards. We turned on the TV sets. But yeah, I lost friends, unfortunately, many business associates, but I was one of the fortunate ones. I did hear many stories of my friends going into or leaving the train station at the very, you know, last moment, or they changed their mind. And then I was contacted for a story about, you know, what type of loss are they feeling there. And it's not only, it was not only the family loss and everything else like that, but the intellectual, there's so much loss having to do with that day. But fortunately, I was not part of that.
You were spared.
I was spared. I was one of the lucky ones. But
and you hear this story over and over again of people that were supposed to be there that were running late for whatever reason, didn't end up there over and over again. And those who don't have faith just need to, because they say this wouldn't happen if there were a higher being, but then you look at all the people that weren't there that should have been there, and there's always the yin and the yang of every situation, the two sides.
Yeah.
Well, the amazing thing is there was a company that was completely wiped out. I think it was a construction company, one of the bigger ones. And my ex-wife, her boss, was part of that company. He was supposed to be there. They were having a big corporation meeting. It was over 250 people that lost that day. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because there are some things going on. And Paul Travel Thursday is here, and I found out some more information about the Bahamas. It is open, yes?
Yes, parts of it are, sure. The parts of the islands that have not been affected by the storm, they are open. I know Sandals has 2 locations that are open. They are accepting guests. They're encouraging people to come. The people at the rest of the islands, they need work. They need to be able to get their families back together again. The pigs are safe. They still have the excursion to see the pigs.
Safe. You
I'm
mean
amazed. Paul, can you give me a geography lesson on the Bahamas? Because I don't understand how a storm the magnitude of Dorian can go through the islands of the Bahamas. They're all islands, right? We're not talking about a large landmass. And some islands are unscathed.
Yeah.
They are fine. And some sides of the same island are fine. And it sat for 2 days. I don't even understand how that's even possible that some places are okay.
And the Sandals at Emerald Bay still has its golf course open.
That's amazing. Now,
where's Emerald Bay? Do you know?
What difference is a golf course is open?
Amazing.
Now, there's another thing I heard that the island, the main strip, there was so much water, it cut it in half. Is that true?
The topography has changed. I didn't hear about it cutting it in half, but when all this settles down, the shape of the islands are going to be different. The land masses are going to probably disappear because they've been so covered with water. We don't know what they're going to find in places like Freeport, Abacoa, and so forth.
Wow.
But Sandals is open. Sandals is accepting guests and reservations. And also, Sandals has a foundation, a not-for-profit, and Sandals is collecting donations from the public, from guests, and 100% of their donation goes directly to the people in the Bahamas. And I have read, I have not received it directly from Sandals, but they're also matching donations also.
I saw that too. I saw that too. And so it's just the opposite. We want people to continue on their trips, and are the facilities up and running? Everything is good?
Yes, I got a communication from someone in Miami who is with the Tourist Bureau in the Bahamas, and her message to me was, yes, it's devastation is beyond belief, but what really would help us is to continue to send people to visit the Bahamas, to those places that are open, safe, and operating, because they need to get a cash flow coming back in. They need to be able to offer work to people. Absent that, then it's strictly donations, and it might not get to all of the people. A place like Sandals, they have hundreds of employees, and that's the way that they're going to get themselves rebuilt. And the main industry in the Bahamas, of course, was tourism.
Now, you notice that some people are going back, some people that came over, they showed them on the news yesterday, and they are heading out this morning because they're going back to help their people. And they says, okay, enough is enough, we're going back. Now, I want to talk about, but we're going to do about a little bit of travel and everything else, because that's what
Also,
Paul
that the
does.
Gazette did just go out today. Our
Yes.
special edition of the Brooklyn Cafe Gazette went out this morning, about a half hour ago, and it's all about Bahamas Strong. And it was written by one of our new producers, Angie Jimenez, and she was so passionate we had to condense it because it was 2 pages of the details of what's being said through the government and what's being said through guests that we've had on the show. But we condensed it because we wanted you to get a good feeling of what BahamasStrong.org is. And they are over in the Bahamas now. We have Kirsten Stevens and Niels Gregory and Daniel Albertus. He went over, they were here with us, and they're sort of going in shifts, and they are there, and they were supposed to be coming in today on our 1 o'clock show. We're going to see, but right now they're so entrenched in what they are doing.
There's no power. Power keeps coming in and
The
out.
power's right, you got the text.
I got the
Power's
text.
going in and out, the phone lines are going in and out. Hopefully she'll send us an update on what's happening. But it's money, and it's solar powered battery chargers that they're
Yeah.
looking for, the little things, because there's no power and people need to charge their cell phones. So anything like that, we will keep you updated. The information is in the Gazette, and I'm sure Freddie is going to very rapidly
I will be texting
out the link as he did.
Bathroom reading material.
I think we should retitle it something
I think
else,
we should-
Bahamas Strong.
I think we should call it Bathroom Reading Material Club.
But you can get more information. It's BahamasStrong.org, and they are under an umbrella of a 501c3 as this one is being established.
Right.
And it's just spectacular that all the monies, donations, everything. And they were looking today for volunteers with one of the trucking companies. Shipping, they need money, they need gas, because people have donated their gas and their time to get planes and boats over, but at some point they need money to fuel these ships.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. While many people want to help and they want to contribute, you have to do a little bit of due diligence to which organizations are really going to fulfill what it is that you want to do.
Right.
And like anything else in the world, there are organizations that contribute 100% of it, and there are those that contribute 2% of what is given. So do a little bit of homework. While your heart is open and you want to do the right thing, make sure that the money is going to get to the people who actually need it.
And this one is easy. If you want to contribute to Bahamas Strong, there are collection sites, as Paul mentioned. There are items that you can donate, but they need funds, and they make it so easy. If you set up your text function, it's 21,000, and you type in donate. The money goes directly to the organization, and funds get shipped right out. You don't have to go anywhere. You can do it from your phone. Very, very easy.
Very
And I
Also,
know most
Gary
cops will
Less's
work with
law
them.
firm is collecting items such as diapers and
I was
bandages.
going to ask you to have him come today, and I slipped my mind.
Well, I'll speak to them if I can, but they are in 3 offices in Stewart, West Palm
Right.
Beach, and in Boca. There's a list that you have. Maybe you can get that list up if you want to buy a box of diapers or you want to bring some first aid supplies, baby food. There's a lot that is needed that they will collect, and Tropical Shipping is contributing space on their
They
ships.
were looking for volunteers today, actually.
Yes.
That's exactly who it was.
Yep, so that they can get it back there. They are partners on that, and people want to contribute in different ways, and that's a good way of doing it. Just to backtrack a little bit to 9/11, I have a most amazing story from 9/11 that I want to share with you.
Okay.
A friend of mine who is an economist, he had a similar story to yours, that he was going to be speaking at Windows of the World that morning.
The restaurant.
And for those that don't know, the World Trade Center, it's actually made up of 7 different buildings, and 2 of them were the towers, and there's a hotel, a Marriott hotel that was there. But he was a breakfast speaker scheduled to go towards that, to that venue that time. At the last moment, he was switched to the Marriott hotel with another speaker. And he was there as that happened, and it was by the hand of God that he wasn't in the, it's 102 stories up, that he wasn't there on the whole thing. And he recants a lot of what has happened, and if you want information on that, I can give you a website that you can go to and read it. But here's, I think, the most amazing thing. In my past life, I was involved in the world of finance and money.
In your past life? You sound like Freddie.
Yeah, one of my past
Any prior
lives.
careers?
But the World Trade Center in the bottom held the computers, the servers for all of the banks, all of the Wall Street firms, all of the flow of information that was going in. And one of the biggest fears that they had on that day of 9/11 was that there would be an interruption of those services. And the head of the New York Federal Reserve System, gathered the heads of the major banks, and on a handshake, all of the major banks agreed to honor every ATM card, let every check clear, let anyone who wanted to withdraw money doing that, and then they would settle the books once they were able to get the backup tapes in place. Had that not happened,
It would have shut down the economy.
we would have had,
It shut us down.
we would have been in a recession that would have lasted for long. But, I think we see a lot of things wrong that we talk about, and there's a lot of things we need to improve. But there, when the chips really were down, the people who are in power, they came together and they thought of the American public first. And I think you see the same kind of mentality and the same kind of energy being put towards the people of the Bahamas. While they are a separate country, we really see them as an extension of who we are as Americans. We travel back and forth. It's a country that we know well. We know the people. We've been to the country many times, and they are truly in need of help. And if it's going to a Sandals resort is your way of helping and enjoying that side of it, that's great. If you're going to contribute to the not-for-profit, if you want to put supplies out there, you want to give manual help, this is their time of need, and all of us really need to step up and help out.
I love when Paul comes because he always gives us a different take, like the story from 9/11. Those are stories that we'd never heard of or anyone has brought forward with your previous experience.
Yeah.
And last week you came forward with another story, and it's just remarkable. Oh, we were talking about Puerto Rico, and he was talking about the bonds and things that we don't talk about.
That's
and
right.
people don't remember.
The bonds, I remember that.
Right? And both of you
Big,
remember these stories,
right?
but these are things that I know our crew certainly doesn't. But to say that the country came together on a handshake, right? With, you always say old school, to keep the economy flowing, so whatever monies you need. Because if you were not in New York, it meant nothing to you as far as the economy. You didn't know. Lives were not interrupted outside of New York as far as that goes. As far as going to the bank, getting your monies, because everything was accessible outside of Manhattan.
The other side of the untold stories are all of the subsequent bomb threats that were made in that general facilities.
Not the first time it went down.
Not the first time it happened. And as that happened, my daughter was in school at the Fashion Institute of Technology, and she was staying opposite the Empire State Building, which was the second target that everyone was afraid that they were going after. There was little, if any, cell service that was going out. The cloud of smoke and debris was so thick you couldn't see 10 feet in front of you. The air was so filled with the smell of death and rubble that it was there. And you heard recently that the cries in Congress to continue helping to support the first responders who were there. And the numbers that were lost in terms of EMT and fire and police and people who went in when everyone was running out is absolutely phenomenal. And to this day, many, many of them have died, and their family members, through secondary exposure, have also suffered this. And this is something that for many people, it's an 18-year-old story.
Through secondary exposure. So if you were a first responder, you brought enough home into your house.
It was in your hair. It was in your
was
skin.
everywhere.
It was on your
That was
clothes.
everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It was there, and people saved
People
the
are
clothing.
sick, yeah.
I actually tripped, and when I was up there later on, a few months later, I was giving a speech on you guys got to get it back together again. You got to get working again. We got to be here for the living now, past the point where they couldn't find anybody. And so I actually tripped in the middle of the street off of some of the debris only a block away from the World Trade Center in the financial district. Funny enough, when I fell literally in the middle of the street, all the cars stopped. I had 4 men run out. This is New York City.
Right.
4 men. This is a city where everyone says, oh, these people, oh, they're crap, and this and that. You always get a lot of flack, But if you're going to fall down in the middle of the street, you do it in New York City, because 4 men picked me up,
Wow.
put me to the side, and I broke my ankles. What happened? So I was bad. A woman came over to me, says, can I help? My name is Sylvia. I'm like, my mother's name is Sylvia. I'm like, could I possibly have a better circumstance to happen in New York City? If I'm going to break my leg, break it there. So
That's true.
And then getting back to what you were saying, it's a 2-part experience when these things happen. The one part is the financial blow, or the blow of the people being killed in the horrible circumstances, and we're trying to help them out. And the other side is getting them back on their feet and feeling okay to go there to the Bahamas and say, look, I'm going to go ahead and golf and do this. And the reason being, you are helping these people.
Yes.
I saw it in New York City. I saw it down in the Keys. Remember the Keys? They're like, please come on down here. Look, we understand we were devastated, but we're going to have open arms, and we need to have it because our economy is based upon you coming down here. And we're talking about an island. They're not going to get anything from anything else. You have to literally get on a plane, get on a boat, go down there and spend your money,
And the Virgin Islands also are still trying to come back from the damage that they had from the storm. I mean, we don't look at the scope of all that has happened. I mean, it's miraculous that Sandals should survive. And having been there and enjoyed the hospitality and what they do, it really is amazing. And they're encouraging people, don't let what you see on the news stop you from going and planning those vacations that are there, because they are there to serve you and to have your family to have a good time. They're beautiful. They have everything that they need. They produce their own water. All of the sewerage is taken care
They're all
Oh,
of on there.
self-contained.
Yeah, they're self-sufficient.
Yeah,
They
when you're
generate
an
their own
island,
electricity.
You learn to do that when you're on an island. And you're going to have to... So there are people pouring in there right now. And we got some bad weather coming this weekend.
Yes, we do.
All right, we got to go to commercial break. I need
do?
another drink.
Yeah. Let's change the energy a little
We
bit.
got to call Linda Summers is what we got to do.
Listen, you just got to keep the faith. That's what I'm telling you. But challenges are there. They're always going to be there.
And we need to address the elephant in the room.
What's the elephant?
You and I are both wearing purple. No, this was not planned. So when you all start writing into Freddie and saying, did you plan this like at our anniversary
It's
party?
Thursday.
Yes. It's,
You always
it's
wear
purple
purple on
Thursday.
Thursday.
I
Is
thought
that
it's
true?
Green Thursday.
No,
Yes,
we always wear
we're-
purple on
we
Thursday.
do?
No.
This was not planned. Give us a call at the station, 888-994-4995. More with Travel Thursday with Paul Vadiato, cruiseoptics.com. We're going to talk a little bit more about what Scott does, our 1 o'clock hour. We're talking numerology. If you believe in the energy of numbers, you're going to want to stick around. So stay tuned. Emma, are we good to go? Yep. We'll be right back. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
And welcome back.
Welcome back. I'm laughing to myself because I asked you a question on when I wanted to book a team building day.
Yes.
I'm going to probably just do it any day. Why'd I even ask you?
I don't know.
I'm sitting here thinking, I just asked out of being kind.
Okay.
But I'm sitting here thinking, no, we have to do it on Monday or Tuesday so Kelsey can
Why
join
Monday
us.
Oh, because of Kelsey.
'Cause
No,
of
Kelsey will
Kelsey.
come on Friday if you let her know.
You think?
Yeah.
I've got to say about
Gotta
that.
tell her early.
You know where we're looking at doing it?
I have no idea.
The Ninja Place
What ninja place?
with Christine Gambino.
Oh, she's great. She's a ninja warrior.
The Ninja Warrior,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exercise?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Team
no,
building.
that's
Ninja
not team building.
It's better than walking down Atlantic Avenue with popcorn.
Why?
Jump-
Manuel's like, yeah, because you got to come together as a team and do
Manuel,
a
you
whole
know
exercise.
how difficult this ninja thing is? You have any idea?
Jump
We can
Twist
do it.
Academy.
Yes,
down
Jump
in-
Twist Academy.
Yeah.
She's like, yes, when do you want to come?
I'm in. Hector,
911.
Hector, would you rather walk down the street with me eating popcorn or jump in Twist Academy? Thank
He's
you.
thinking.
Yes.
It was Teddy's idea. Teddy, it's a great idea. She texted me right
I
back.
think we
She
should
says,
take that
just
to a
pick
vote.
day. Yes,
I'd rather do
Christine
Game of
Gambino.
Access.
Yeah, I know
We
her.
can do that
She's
too.
great.
And she was here. We made fun of her name, but I'd rather do Game of Access.
We can do that too.
Not two. I'd rather do Game of Access.
We can do that also.
No, I'd rather do Game of Access. And the Ninja Warrior. I don't want to do
We
that.
gotta have some fun, lighten it up. We gotta help someone slide that door.
Slide the door.
See what's going on over there. Anyway, back to Paul. It is Travel Thursday at the Brooklyn Cafe TV, and we're talking cruising, and things are changing. But we also have 2 cruises that we have booked. We have a cruise to Mexico, to the Western Caribbean,
Yes.
and we have a cruise to Alaska.
We have-
We're still good on these cruises?
We are still good, and we are still booking. We have some cabins that are left. We are going on the 7th of March on Celebrity, on the Equinox, which has been recently redone. It's an upscale cruise that will be going to the Western Caribbean, and we have some cabins available on that. They'll be leaving at Fort Lauderdale. And then in August 2nd, we have Celebrity Cruise out of Vancouver that is going to be going to the eastern straits of Alaska.
Well, let me tell you what happened. We sent out the newsletter last weekend, and Freddie had this great idea of sending it by text because people open text far more than they open their emails. How many people told you they want to go to Alaska? 20?
About 20. And they
Like,
go,
boom.
one was her daughter. She says, I didn't even know you guys were going to Alaska.
She said, Mom, you're going to Alaska? I didn't know. How do you know? Freddie told me. My mom, too. You're going to Alaska? How do you know? Freddie told me.
My sister just went there.
She love it?
She said it was the best trip of her lifetime.
And everyone says this cruise line with Celebrity is spectacular because it's not too big, it's not too small, it's kind of like Goldilocks. It's just right.
Everybody decided to open up the deal, and they're all talking about this dance that I'm gonna have underneath them lights. But I need to ask you a very serious question.
Yes.
In August, are those lights even there?
Ah, good question.
We need to find out because
Yep.
somebody straightened me out on this.
Dylan.
Are you sure?
Dylan, can you fact check if the Northern Lights are visible in August?
August.
In
Thank you.
Alaska.
In Alaska.
In Alaska.
As opposed to anywhere else.
So-
Michelle Landers.
I have my
let us know.
flashlight.
She's thinking about it.
You coming? Yes.
You should come join us on set because Scott has a number theory also.
Come
We'll
here.
talk
Sit
numerology in a
over
little
here.
bit.
I have a fact check on the Northern Lights.
Yeah, come
All
on.
right, what's the fact check, Teddy?
The lights are sometimes observed in any season, but chances are best when it's dark after 6 p.m. from late September to late March.
Oh, so it's good.
We're good.
September
have
to
it.
March.
Yeah, September,
August.
October, November, December. We're not
Hello.
good.
So you can still see them, but they're just at their peak at the time of the equinoxes in September and
The
March.
more alcohol you drink, the brighter they are.
That's right. The more you drink, the more
You are
they'll
so funny.
I thought it was
September
good.
to March, we're good. Why we're going in August? In August,
Because what I want you to do is I want you to
Go
tell them to
backwards.
have a room. Like
We'll
the
call it the
planetarium.
Northern Lights
if we
room.
move
Yes.
backwards,
Remember
we're
the
good to go.
planetarium?
Yeah.
We used to go there and look, it was dark as you couldn't even see the hair in front of your face, and they put all those things on, all those stars.
You're
Yeah,
so
yeah.
funny. But yes, the
not good.
cruising, and the good thing about the cruises, they've been pre-booked out, pre-blocked, so the
Yeah, yeah.
prices are locked in because what's happening now, Paul was saying, is that
Prices are
because
going up.
of people scrambling to rebook their ships and their vacations, the cruises are going up.
Yes, prices are going up all over, and the January to like Easter time of the year is called wave season. That's when our northern Floridians come down, and they literally are competing for cabins to go away and to get away on a cruise. You have groups that are going. So the prices tend to be a little higher, and there's also new cruise ships that are coming back from Europe and some that are just being built. Celebrity has a new one called Apex that will be coming in the spring. Royal Caribbean has one that's coming. And people want to go on the ships that they haven't been on, so that also elevates the price.
What do they do with all these ships? At some point, isn't it just too many ships?
And that's a problem dealing back now to the hurricanes, because the ports are so crowded. They're running out of places to go to. And Royal Caribbean solved that by building a couple of.
Built another port.
They opened
kidding.
in Jamaica. They bought a parcel of land, and they have their own there. They have their own with Coco Cay, which is reopening this week. They got everything structurally checked out.
amazing.
Yeah, they were. God knows how that made it through the storm, but it is, and they're checking it out from an engineering standpoint, and also from the fact that they have enough workers that are going to be able to take care of the people that are there.
That's
So that will be
remarkable.
That is
reopening.
so cool. Now, Alaska is one of those trips that's on everybody's bucket list.
Oh, you
because
have to go.
Everybody talks about, do you know, I lived in New York for 42 years, and I never went to the Empire State Building.
You go to the Statue of Liberty?
I went 27 times, 2,700 times the statue. My mother used to love the statue. Don't know why, but she loved it.
Ellis Island,
Yeah, and we found my...
Circle Line tour.
Yes, as a matter of fact, the Circle Line was my getaway. When we went on the Circle Line, we took like sandwiches and stuff.
United Nations.
Yes, I went there for school.
Did you ever tell Scott the story about your mom?
I told him that was Ramona, my
Yes.
mother. Yeah, and then he told me the story. She's Italian and everything else. Yeah.
And then Sylvia, right? So you fall, and this woman Sylvia picks you up, and that's
Yeah.
your mom's name. And
Yeah,
you
that's
called
my
us
mom's
about
name.
Ramona's, and I always tease Freddie, and I said, no one would ever think the Puerto Rican from the Bronx and the Jewish girl from Boca would ever like work together, right? So here you call us with Ramona's, which is his mother's name, in a kosher restaurant.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so I thought, Mom, she's being really funny right now, your mom, because there she has it goes, really? And here you go. We've got Ramona's Kosher Restaurant, and boom.
But it's thank you.
There you
but
go.
the bucket list about going to Alaska is never even crossed my mind because
You thought it was unaffordable,
who the hell
unachievable,
is gonna
right?
go to Alaska? I can't afford to go to Alaska. But I went to Hawaii, and that was another bucket list thing. And I did everything on Hawaii. I did all the islands.
And now you can go on the helicopter to Alaska.
Will they let me on
That's what my
Yeah.
sister just did.
the helicopter?
She did the bucket list helicopter. What they do is she was on a cruise, and then part of it is getting in a helicopter and then heading to a private island. Now you need to book. You need to book ahead of time for certain things like that.
We need to talk about that.
We do that right when you make your reservation.
Yeah, yeah. So fantastic. She had the best time of her life, and
When I went to
she got the
Hawaii,
pictures to prove it.
when I went to Hawaii, I weighed 289 pounds, and they did not allow me to get on the helicopter.
Really?
Yeah, the pilot said too much weight because there were other people on this stupid
Yeah.
thing. It's like glass top, glass bottom. So I said, I'm gonna tell you something. If you have to take me alone, I'm going on this. I didn't come all the way over here from the Bronx not to go on this thing. And I made this big stink. So the pilot said, you know what? Put him in the middle. So I sat where there was no seat in the middle to balance the helicopter.
Yeah.
And we went.
Yeah.
And everybody was upset because they said, we're gonna crash because of this fat guy. And
He
I
lost
went.
100 pounds.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
And I go, and he takes me to a canyon. And he stops the helicopter, right? He says, and this is for Freddie. He dips down, my socks went to the roof, and then he went backwards.
Oh.
And he doesn't do this normally.
Yeah.
And everybody was screaming at him, and he looked at me and says, you got them all back.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. But man, a helicopter ride is the scariest thing I've ever
I've never been on a helicopter. Have you, Michelle?
No,
Michelle's gonna have to run my numbers before I get on the helicopter.
No.
that's really a good idea. That's really a good idea.
Did your
not
numbers
her number.
change? Does your life change? The numbers change?
Okay.
Monday to Wednesday?
Okay, every year there's new vibrations. I mean, your birth name, that's your birth name. You can't, well, you can change that. However, you know, there's a lot that goes into if you really want to change.
So
your
the
birth
answer to that
name.
question is yes.
Yes,
Yes.
things change.
Things change. The
Anyway,
short answer.
get
But
back-
2020, we're going to Alaska. And if you want to join us in Alaska, all you have to do is call Paul, 561-232-2626. Well, there's still some deep discounts.
Yeah, we have steep discounts, but we
I need to talk to you.
we also have perks. We have Wi-Fi, drink packages, or prepaid gratuities, any two of those. We have special pricing, and you right now we have choice cabins, so you're really want to be there. They have a children's program if you want to bring your children along, but it's more of a culinary food adventure type of a trip than it is, a family kind of a trip. Alaska is a beautiful place, and it's changing. This might be, how many more years are we going to have glaciers up there? I don't know, but this is the time to go.
If it keeps raining the way we have, we're going to have an ice cube. Forget about a glacier.
The cruise to Alaska leaves on August 2nd of 2020 from Vancouver, British Columbia. So yes, you do need your passports. And by October of 2020, you need that proper little star in your driver's license. So you have a year to get all of that intact before we all leave for Alaska.
I got to do that.
We all have to do it, apparently.
Yes.
I gotta do
And
it.
here's the thing now with Alaska that is a big savings in and of itself. If we book our air through Celebrity, they have bulk, what's called consolidation rates, where they have seats that are guaranteed on all of the airlines, or you can choose your own. And first they will guarantee you that you'll make the ship from no matter what gateway city that you leave from, but they do not charge you the airfare up front. So they incorporate that into the price of the cruise so that if you want to make regular payments until 90 days before the ship leaves, you don't have that outlay as we come into the Christmas Hanukkah holidays. And that's a big savings of itself. And you know that you're going to have this trip ahead of you. And, the world is a changing place. If you don't do it now, when will you do it?
It's true that.
So their pricing is better on the airfare. If you're looking up airfare, Celebrity has they're locking you in at the best price available.
Yeah, they will, and you can check against that. And Celebrity on their air is just phenomenal.
I have to tell you.
And this is regular planes. No, there is no rubber bands taking you
The
to
people that want to go
Alaska.
to Alaska with us, I got to tell you, you're just going to have fun. There is no way around it. The amount of those people that have contacted you that said they want to go.
You know something? I have to take an insurance policy.
Yeah,
first.
pretty much. It's going to
In
be
a little while.
And you probably want the drink package. Is all I can tell
No,
you.
they're doing the drink package. They may double up on the drink package. I said, why are you doubling up? He says, you don't know. They may run out of booze.
You may not be able to wear the
Actually,
Speedos.
I have a question. The two amenities that are included, is that per person or per cabin?
Cabin.
All right. So one, like if you got a drink package, someone else in your cabin could get the gratuity, but then they would have to
No.
pay for their drinks.
No, you can
No.
both get the drink
Both
package.
get the drink
Yeah.
package and both get the Wi-Fi or whatever it's going to be.
So you each get two.
Yes.
Okay. So that was my question. Does that make sense?
No,
we're
because
booking per
I keep
cabin.
telling you, take a straw, you order drinks, and the other person drinks
Yeah,
out
but
of
now
it.
you don't have to worry because each person that books has the two amenities.
And let's just elaborate on the drink
Does that make sense
package.
to you?
Because not everyone drinks alcohol.
Right.
So it might be a virgin cocktail you're going to have. It could be a specialty coffee like a macchiato, or it could be a milkshake.
All that is included?
Or
Soda,
just
water?
bottles of drinking water.
Really?
So whatever you drink, soda, Coke, whatever it is,
'cause,
they will include that
Wow.
into it. So
Water could be $6 a bottle.
That's huge. The drink package is used. I've been on cruises before, and it's really worth it, I think.
yes.
Well, maybe I'm revealing too much.
And
No,
if you-
never
and-
mind.
No.
No.
And if you add the gratuities, it also includes the
Absolutely.
gratuities that you would normally give to a bartender. They usually add 18% on to the, whatever the cost of the glass of wine is, $8 or whatever it
The
is.
gratuities could be big too. You only get two, huh?
Per person.
Or per person.
That was my question.
Oh, so you get two. So you could do gratuities and drink each one.
Hey, I get two, you
Oh,
get
piece
two,
of
Paul
cake.
gets two.
Do they
right.
have the ice bar on that particular
As much as you want,
line?
baby.
The ice bar. There's
Ice. Polar bear ice. A polar bear serves you the
No,
ice.
so the bar is
itself.
ice.
The
There's
bar-
an ice bar.
I understand the question,
Oh,
yes.
sorry.
The Equinox does. I don't think the Eclipse does.
It does.
Then that's
I
what
called.
it must
Did
have been
you?
on the
Yeah.
Equinox. It does?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Where did you go?
I went to, God, I've been there a couple of times, but I guess I went that time to the Caribbean, the Western Caribbean,
On what ship?
Well, the ice bar.
the one with the ice bar.
Was it on the Equinox that just got here?
Probably not.
It was 2 years ago.
No, the Equinox
No.
was not here. It was still getting renovated.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, Paul, let's talk about solo travelers. Because those of you that are not partnered or wanting to share a cabin, we've got some great information just traveling
Oh,
alone.
really? I forgot about that.
A lot of things going on.
This could be a very interesting
Stay
conversation.
tuned. 888-994-4995. Give us a call. Say hi to Emma because it's her first time on the board.
Emma on the board.
And we'll be right back. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power. A platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions. A voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Yes, we're both wearing purple. It is Thursday at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Give us a call, 888-994-4995. It is Travel Thursday Hour with Paul Vadiato, and we're talking Solo Traveler Special. What's going on with the Solo Traveler?
Many people want to travel and they want to see the world, and they are solo travelers, meaning they don't have a spouse or they don't have someone that they can travel with. And it gets a little bit expensive if you are a solo traveler, because all traveler is based upon double occupancy, be it a cabin or a hotel room or at a resort. And we're starting to see now that some of the cruise ships, some of the riverboats, and some of the resorts are running particular events for solo travelers. So rather than charge double for the cabin, AMA Waterways, which is riverboats in Europe, and it's like a Mercedes-Benz class type of a ship, they are running specific cruises where there's only a 10% supplement charge. So it would be the cost of one person plus 10% more. That gives them a tremendous price break. And on other cruises, they're reserving a limited number of rooms that will be available for solo travelers.
Do they go in a variety of locations, or are they specific to, say, Europe? Or
Right now, they're mostly in Europe, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be expanding it to some of the locations that they do in other parts of the world. But riverboat cruising is something that's very, very special. And it is not about finding your life mate on a solo cruise. It's probably.
But they have those if you want.
There are people, but in reality, it's probably about 80% women who are solo travelers, 20% being men. And you're treated royally because they know you're a solo traveler. You'll have dinner at the captain's table. There'll always be someone on the crew who you'll have to dance with. And it's really made to be something special and unique.
Freddie's in.
Hold on a second. A guy goes on this cruise ship by himself.
You can sit at the captain's table, Freddie.
Hold on a second. A guy, and he has 80 women around him. You think this guy ain't going to go there and say, "I'm single"? How you doing? You think that's gonna
How you
happen?
doing?
Do it.
I mean, come on. That has to be.
But there are single guys have a thing about going alone.
They do?
Many of them do, sure. But it's something that if you are up to the travel, there's a good opportunity you're going to find somebody to dance with on these kind of
Is that
solo
a fact
cruises.
you're giving me?
Yes.
Most single guys are afraid to travel alone?
Yeah, not afraid to travel alone. They feel out of place traveling alone.
Why? I think a guy has a choice of 10 women, a guy would bleed.
Well-
he probably doesn't even know
Would
about
you
it.
travel alone?
Hell yeah.
Manuel, would you travel alone? Yes. I know Teddy would.
Hey, Dylan, will you travel alone?
He does most of the time.
He needs to talk. Do you travel alone?
I go to movies alone,
Yeah.
Dylan
so I
was-
definitely travel alone.
Hector, you would travel. Man, Hector, you would travel alone, right? Especially if there's 8 women
On
to
a
every man.
cruise.
But wait a second. You're talking about cruises that are not to the Caribbean. You're
Right, these
talking
are going
about
into Europe river
I'm
seven,
talking about taking a bike ride down the street. Makes no difference.
$5,000 to $7,000 with airfare to get to there. So it requires somebody of financial means and someone who has the time that they can get away. Because the minimum is 7 days, and many of them go 10 and 14 days. So women who tend to live longer than men will look to take these cruises, save some money along the way, but honestly, they also would like to have some company. And it's an opportunity to meet some people.
Absolutely. And I'm going to live at least 7 days. I can guarantee you that.
How many people had company on those trips? Do you know?
Do you have a
What-
statistic on that?
Yeah, do you have a statistic?
You mean that actually pair up?
Yeah.
Like Bachelor
Gosh,
in Paradise?
I have no idea. It
should
is
ask.
not Bachelor in
That,
Paradise.
that would be a good selling point. You should find that out.
Well, they
That would
can't
be
do
a-
that because,
It's not a dating site.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not that. They don't want to purport that to be, nor would they say it's mostly this nationality or from this part of the world, though you'll find many Europeans that will travel on these solo cruises. So you get a
Europeans don't travel on solo cruises?
They do.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, they do. And because they know Europe, they either go through rail or they'll go like on a river cruise. but it's an opportunity to explore a new part of the world, new foods, new people, new culture, new music, new opportunities, art, history. All of these things are incorporated in there, and you'll find someone to either pair with or to become friends with. And you'll travel and see these things together. You're not going to be alone.
And these women that are there, just talking from a guy's perspective, they have to have the means to be on this, right?
Yes.
This is a gold mine. A gold mine, I tell you.
Freddie, do you dance?
If I don't, I'll learn. Yes, I do then.
You know, going back into history again, one of my other lives, when I first
You a
started.
ballroom dancer?
No. When I first began in the world of wealth management, I had to develop a list of clients, and I established a relationship with Celebrity Cruise Line, where I would do 7-day cruises, and I would provide economic, financial lectures on the cruise ship.
Really?
But I would travel technically as a crew member as opposed to a guest, though I had my own cabin
the
and
dance
whatnot.
instructor?
No, but there are men
that's what he was
who
gonna tell us.
Oh, what the hell we were talking about dancing?
I'm getting there. But as crew, you have the crew lounge, and there are many gentlemen who were in their 60s and 70s who, like I did financial lectures, they were brought on by the cruise line specifically to be dancers. They were very skilled, they were very smooth, debonair,
Suavemente.
and nobody who wanted to dance went without a partner.
Do they have dance cards? Can you sign my dance card, please?
Sounds like escorts.
So that might be, an end career for you.
As a
Your
dancer?
next career.
What's the age for these types of cruises?
Typically,
the cruises?
you're going to find people who are 55 and above.
Okay.
Though
Scott,
there
are you
are
single?
families.
No, I'm not.
Are you married?
I'm married
Okay.
happily.
No, I
Oh,
understand.
very nice.
We can't use it as
Today.
You never know.
Yeah.
But if you are looking to find someone, and you are a man, if you do these,
Or a woman.
or I'm talking specifically a man looking to find someone on a
Right.
cruise. These are wonderful opportunities to find people who are interesting. They are traveled people, they are educated people, they are people who have been successful in their lives, and it will be a stimulating conversation at very least.
Well, I think for men and women to go on these cruises as solo travelers, you're going to meet people from your same, as you said, socioeconomic, who have the same likes, the same interests. You talk about a meetup. This is a giant meetup in Europe. What could be better than that on a magnificent riverboat, going to spectacular places, delicious food, high quality, and people with your own interests, whether it be dancing, eating, shopping, whatever it is.
And there's
right?
no swiping left or swiping right.
And you're there. There's nowhere to
do
run.
you know
There's
about all
nowhere to
that?
go.
You ever notice that certain things in life are really sexy? Like the automobile business, right? They put a beautiful woman in there and she drives or
Yeah.
they show it, right? It's a sexy thing, right? Having booze in a glass. I mean, we were talking about whiskey
yes.
the other day, and you see it on Blue Bloods. But this is the same deal. This is not telling you it's going to happen, not selling you sex, but it's sexy. It's sexy to go on this trip, whether something happens or not. Irrelevant.
It's the idea of it.
It's just the thought of it.
But also, when you're taking the tours and you're in Italy and you're into a pastry
God.
shop
Forget about
and you're
it.
meeting the
If you're single,
Italian
call now.
Italian men, Italian women, or you're going to France and you're in the vineyard and you're doing interesting things and you're meeting local people who you would never probably encounter in the world, who knows?
And a cruise changes everybody's mentality. You're there, you're relaxing. I used to get lost on cruise ships. I had to go that way. I always went this way. I don't know why. Maybe I leaned to the right. I don't know what
Port,
the hell's wrong.
starboard.
But you should see everybody come forward to help me get back. People that I didn't even know. There was a lady. She didn't even speak English or Spanish or anything. I don't know what the hell. She was Russian or something. And even she walked me back till I got to my room. Everybody has a different mindset.
Everyone's in that vacation mode.
Everybody's on let's have a little fun
Let's
mode.
be nice to each other mode.
That's right.
Ah,
and if you wanna be nice and you have circumstances in your favor,
And the food on these riverboat cruises,
forget about it.
I mean, they're locally sourced.
Oh.
So if you're in France, You're going to be getting good French wine. It's going to be paired with local food and cheese that is going to be there. If you are on like the Riviera cruise line, it's a British line, so there's high tea every day at 4 o'clock. It's going to experience.
Michelle's in. She says, I gotta go.
Hold on a
I
second.
know,
High
you're
tea.
selling me. I mean, it
What
sounds
is high tea?
romantic.
Yeah. Are you married?
No.
You want to be? Go on this cruise.
Yeah, maybe.
You can, you know something. Sometimes you say yes, but that means no.
Well,
Yeah.
I just want to go check out the merchandise.
High
on
tea.
Riviera cruises,
Yeah.
every
Who's
cruise
that?
they have single
And people
single
with high tea
cabins
in the
for
afternoon.
solo
Tea
travelers.
and sandwiches.
That's different.
And the ships they
different.
use are the same as what Tauk uses. They're built by the same company. And it's much, much less money, and you're going to get the same service.
Yeah, I thought about doing. I mean, I've done not a number, maybe 4 or 5 cruises.
No pun intended.
Right.
Did a number of cruises.
The number
Ba-dum-bum.
lady. The number lady.
And I've been to Italy. I've been to Sicily, which I love.
Ah, my God, my home.
Oh yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. But I've always thought about maybe doing those, and you're making it sound incredibly, maybe sexy, but really romantic and really sensual, and
Well,
sounds great.
Please visit my Facebook
No, I
page.
will.
How do people
I will.
find you, Paul?
yeah. How do you find your Paul?
Yeah, you can't miss me. Every
Can't miss Paul
Thursday
every
I'm here.
Thursday.
Cruiseoptics.com if you're going to go on the web. And my website has been totally redone. I invite everybody to take a look at it. It is really user-friendly, so you can tons of information. Facebook page, Cruise Optics. Instagram, you can check me out there as well. Less on Twitter, but also you can reach me by phone at 561-232-2626. And it really is about what gets the juices flowing. What is it that you want to do? Is it an adventure? Is it new people? Is it food? Is it history? Is it art? Is it romance?
It's sexy.
It's sexy.
I like
Yeah.
the amount of time that you put into these cruises because when you go on, it
Yes.
isn't like a 3-day, 4-day.
I was going to point that out.
Where you have time to develop something when you go. You get time to have feelings and immerse yourself because 1 or 2 days, as we all know, does not get your juices going. Let's face it. Okay, you get drunk, you eat some food, and then you're off the ship.
You can be
okay?
drunk for 2 days and miss the whole thing.
Right,
You don't have time to relax and enjoy and immerse
But for
yourself
what
in
you're
it.
doing, it sounds like
7 days.
you're meandering down and you're living some life. You know, it's sort of like going down to Louisiana and hopping on board one
Well,
of the ships.
You could take that to another level. I mean, there are real luxury cruises where they are the equivalent of large yachts with very small number of people who are all passionate divers, or those that are the Galapagos Islands and they're looking into the wildlife, and you're kayaking in the waters and actually experiencing this firsthand, all led with guides who know their way around and have done this before. And it's something that you'll keep with you for the rest of your life. And if you do a skip generation cruise where grandma or grandpa takes the grandchildren, my God, it's
We're
a
back to that
memory
again.
they will have forever.
We're back to
It's
that.
back to
again.
that again, Freddie.
No,
the advantage
no,
of
no,
you,
no,
you
no.
get to do that
If
again.
I'm going to do
and
this,
again
I'm going to
and
do it for
again.
me.
Give
My
Paul a
grandkids,
call,
they can-
561-232. 2626. I'm waiting for one to show up.
Yeah, hold on a sec. We keep rolling. Doesn't make a difference. The other, take it easy.
Your grandson, I mean.
Oh, maybe any minute. The other, not my grandson, you mean my son. The other thing is, I somehow found myself driving down from Switzerland to Spain one day. Now, I've been to France, but I've never been to the Eiffel Tower because I promised my ex-wife. It goes to show you, I should have gone. Ex-wife, right? So I went.
Says a lot.
I went across the Alps where there's Spain and France, and they share this border, right? It has to be true because I couldn't make this up if I wanted to. And each one has a bar every 15 minutes. The French wine is the best. But I told the Spanish wine, they were good. But everywhere we went, they gave us free wine to see, okay, who's the best, who's the best, who's the best.
Well, if you know the countries of origin where your family history is, I have an unusual last name, but if I were to go to Sicily and I were to look in the phone book, or what was then the phone book, I would find dozens and dozens of cousins and relatives who I don't even know. And you just knock on their door, you explain who you are, you'll be eating dinner with them, and you'll probably have them over at your place the next year.
Can you find out about my family in Italy?
You can do your family
No, I
tree.
can't.
Why?
Because I was told, stay away, stay far away.
You were dropped by a
No, I was
stalk
told-
under a
no,
cabbage
apparently
leaf?
Santori was not.
Yeah.
Santori with an I was not a very friendly group.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I was told this by more than one person. But I always wanted to know. Now, Sicily, we invaded a little bit of that as well.
Yeah. My family was from Campobasso, which is on the, I think it's on the eastern, lower eastern side. My maiden name was Tassinello, which.
That's in Sicily.
My family was from outside of
Campobasso?
Palermo.
Not Campobasso.
No, the other one.
Tassinello?
Tassinello? Is that from, you know that? You know my relatives?
We'll talk off the air.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that know your relatives. honey.
Oh, dear God.
Now,
You know-
now he's got your number.
So have you picked an orange from a fresh orange in Sicily or a fresh
No,
tomato off the vine?
No, I didn't.
Nothing like it.
I did it in Greece.
Yes, in Santorini.
Yes. And do you know the tomato was bigger than this table? It took
And
2
it
hands to carry it.
tasted like
I don't even like tomatoes, but I ate the whole thing. It was
There's a little salt.
unbelievable. I didn't do that. I put mayonnaise on it, but that's a different story.
a little vodka on it, right?
Call 561-232-2626.
Now, have you been to Europe?
I have been to England. Yes, that's
I went
it.
to England too.
Only England.
I went to England.
In Israel.
In Israel? There's an England and Israel?
No, 2 separate trips.
Oh, you went England
England,
and
one
Israel.
trip, and then
So
Israel,
let me,
England.
where did you
Israel.
stay on in England? You
I
remember?
have no idea.
What's
You were
that?
in London?
Yes, in London.
And did you stay at a big hotel in London?
Yeah, it was like a boutique kind, yeah.
No, I stayed at like a big one, like a Sheraton or I don't remember what it was. Do you know I hired a girl in England?
Careful with what you say.
No, to teach us how the English live, right? So she brought this spaghetti. It was like a bucket. I said to her, "What am I going to do with this?" She's going to drink it, and she brought me those crumpet things. I don't like that because it had like stuff
Jam?
in there, green stuff, that ground, whatever. Because not kielbasa. What is that plant? What's the sandwiches?
Matcha?
What's the sandwiches you have with the
Cucumber.
Oh,
that-
Crumpets.
watercress.
Crumpets.
Watercress?
You don't eat cucumber.
cucumber. I don't eat
Oh,
that.
cucumber and watercress.
I didn't. I
Well, that's
told her-
high tea. That's what you have
Yes,
with high tea.
cucumber. Yeah, she
Yeah.
brought me that. So I said to her, "Can you bring me some tuna fish?" And she put the same face.
Oh my God.
So anyway, so she sends me out on a Sunday. You know what happens on a Sunday in London?
No, I.
They watch the soccer match.
Right.
Football.
Right,
Football.
Of course.
And there's 500 guys in every pub, right? It smells like high heaven, like they're getting plastered.
Dressed in uniforms.
Oh my God, war paint and everything else, right? So here's the American walking down. She says, "Yeah, walk down there. There's plenty of police. The police walking around with a toothpick. What's he gonna do with thousands of people with a
It's a
toothpick?
bobby stick, isn't it? A bobby.
Yeah, a Bobby U.
Something?
So I walk into a pub, and they say, "Oh, look at the American." I don't know how the hell they
How
knew.
did-
I don't know. But I sat down there, and thank God, that pub was winning. That whoever that was winning. That was a good thing. And they bring you pints of warm beer, dark ale. And I start drinking.
Oh, yeah.
If they're buying it, I'm drinking it. And then they play chess.
Chess or
Chess,
darts?
Chess. No, I didn't. I'm not good at darts. And I won. I almost didn't get out alive. I beat their champion. He was so drunk he couldn't tie his shoes. And I beat him. True story. And they started pouring gallons of beer on me. I mean, pouring it on me. So I get back to the hotel and I smell like hell. I got beer coming out of everywhere. She says, "Oh, I see you went to the pub."
How old were you?
I was 28.
And Michelle, this is
And
the
how
woman that
old
we
was your
hired.
guide?
She was 24.
Ah, okay.
Isabella was her name.
And with that, we're going to go to
Spain.
commercial break.
Bella.
Isabella.
We'll talk behind the scenes.
It was a lot of fun.
Give
I
us
tell you, do this cruise thing. I'm telling you.
Give Paul a call. Book your cruises, whether it be riverboat solo, riverboat as a couple. Go to Alaska with us. Go to Mexico. So many options. All you have to do, go to Sandals. You know, support the economy. It's what Gen G and I say about shopping locally.
Gen G says she's
We
all
support
in,
the
too.
Yes, Gen G
She's
wants to
all
go
in.
also to Alaska. Pam Polani wants to go to
Pam
Alaska.
Polani's going. Her husband said she has permission.
A lot of people want to go.
Pam, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that out loud.
Give us a call. We've got numerology coming up with Michelle Lander as well.
Get your pencils because you're
we
going to
need
have
to
to
know
add
your
some numbers.
birthday, your month, and
You have
your
to
year.
add, yes. Yes, Kim. We got to
Month
add.
and
Kim,
day.
how are you, Kim?
Month and day of your birthday. We're going to see what's going on in the year to come. I got mine. I'm a little scared.
If you dare.
888-994-4995. Give us a call or write in. We'll be right back. If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power. A platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions. A voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
Sometimes you need to shake things up a bit, to be a little adventurous, to make your meals pop. Don Pablo Coffee Growers and Roasters have that special ingredient. That little bit of adventure in a bottle to take your dinner to the next level. So take a leap and try one of Don Pablo's fresh roasted specialty coffee meat rubs on your beef, chicken, or pork. You'll never go back to boring again. Go ahead, rub it on your meat.
And we're back. My Belgusta.
We're back on Travel Thursday. We're moving into numerology. We can call it T, the Tao of Numbers. Tao? The Tao of Numbers, written by Michelle Lander. She's joining us on set, which I did. I spent the weekend reading. This is my next book to read. The Year of Living Miraculously, Taking Your Life from Ordinary to Extraordinary. Both of these you wrote.
Yes, I did.
Now, I want to ask, if you come with us to Alaska,
Yeah.
how much time can you dedicate to people coming over and having their numbers read?
Oh, that's really interesting, because I was going to say, you really might want to have me on to entertain people, you know?
I think a tall glass of wine and you...
Why don't we use the word educate?
Well, I was signed up with another, it doesn't matter, something down in Fort Lauderdale to go on cruises and to do education, because I do that, how to live miraculously, empowering yourself to live the
Conversation
best life.
to have.
Okay.
I like we can call it, it really doesn't matter.
Well, I read this over the weekend thinking I could
You
figure
read
this
the
out.
whole thing over the weekend?
That's what Freddie said.
That's what I said. I said you read the whole thing on a
Yes,
Sunday.
and I
she read.
started writing my notes in the back of the book, and then my notes became another pad of paper. Then I flipped it over, and then I was so confused by expression and personality and first name, second name, birthday, year. I'm like, I just got to see what Michelle
But
has
she read
to
the
say.
whole book.
You're brilliant.
She is. She's
You're
very
more
intelligent.
brilliant.
Unfortunately,
But of course, that is in your chart, that you're very intelligent and a lot goes on in your head,
A lot
right?
goes on in my head, yeah.
have you ever seen the show when we have Judy on here? We do the brain tease games.
Oh, we should introduce her to Judy.
I thought she was Judy.
Judy Herman,
Yes.
the brain entertainer.
The brain entertainer.
Oh,
She
I
does
like
brain
that.
puzzles.
She comes in here, and before I get the pencil to the paper, she solves it. This one and Teddy, and they solve it. And it's no
Wow.
fun. They have to play the game with blindfold or something.
But the amazing thing about this is, you have your children and you name them, and you think, oh, I like this name. I'm naming them after a relative or for a relative, depending on your religion. And now I think maybe I should have really put some thought into the names, because now it's your birth name, and I actually had to, my birth name is small, so I thought, oh, that's simple. Your date of birth is, here's the thing, if my parents are watching, they tell me my birth date, but then they tell me maybe it's not really, because some of the things I think in my chart happened already. So I think maybe I'm a year off on my birth
You
date.
see what you're
could
doing?
be.
You see what you're doing here?
I know. We
This-
have to go with the flow.
I've had to deal with this since Monday.
But so many of the things
Now she
Michelle,
thinks she has a different birthday.
but so many things Michelle told me,
Yes.
and then the doctor calls me yesterday and tells me I'm flirting with menopause. Flirting with
Flirting.
menopause.
Isn't that sweet?
I said that sounds so sexy, but yet it's not.
What is
So
it?
thank you for sharing.
Is there like an age you're supposed to flirt with menopause?
Well, thank you very much. Yes, I'm 52-ish.
Well, maybe you're 53-ish or you're 51-ish.
Exactly why my parents should really tell me my real birth date, so
They
I can get an
don't
accurate
know.
chart. No, my mother should
No,
know.
she doesn't know.
She should.
you have a birth
maybe,
certificate.
Maybe it,
No, I
was
don't.
maybe it was an off day for
It
her.
was a giant purple
It was
haze,
an off
as they
day
say.
for her. But
Purple
this
haze.
is so fascinating. We're talking numerology with Michelle Landers, and Michelle
haze.
will
Solo child.
do a brief reading on your numerology charts. If you want to give us a call, what do they need to know before they call Michelle?
Okay, they need to know their month and day of birth. As an example,
September 5th.
December 5th. So that's 12 and 5 is 17/8, right? If you add those numbers
17
up.
what?
And
17. I'm sorry, I'm talking numerology speak.
Right.
So it's 17.
Right.
Okay, then you add the 1 and the 7 together, because you're
Eight.
always reducing it to a single digit for the most part. So that would be 8, correct? So then you're going to add 8 to the year 2020, which is really easy because 2020 reduces to the number 4. So you're just going to add 4 to that 8, which is 12.
And then the 1 and the 2.
You got
And then
it.
you're at a 3.
So if I'm in March 19th, that's 22.
March 19th is 22, that's
That's
4.
four.
But wait, he's a 22. So is he really a 4 or is he a 22?
What?
Wow, you really did.
I really read the book.
You really did read
You
the
at
book.
22 and 11 are special numbers that you don't
my-
always add.
I'm impressed.
I'm impressed that you're a 22, Freddie.
I am really impressed. That yeah. Oh,
So-
no, Freddie, don't
So wait,
go.
Freddie, come back. She's thinking.
I don't want nobody to miss this. I'm a special
You are so correct. I didn't want we don't have enough time. We need
I know.
But that's okay. That's great to point that out. 11, 22, 33 master numbers. Yes, you have a master number.
So am
That's
I a
pretty
22
impressive.
or a 4?
You are a 22, but we can reduce it to a 4 to get your vibration for
notes.
next year. So 4
Are
and
you getting this?
add to the 4 of next year is 8. So, and that is similar to you, Scott, because you're going into an 8 year. That is the year to push ahead in whatever it is that you're doing in life. It's about money.
My eight is my number.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is.
I got news for you. 22 and 4 is 26, and 2 and 6 is 8.
Yes.
So no matter how you cut it, I'm an 8. And do you know that I played 21 years of baseball, what my number was?
22 or 8?
22?
8.
So 8's your number.
8's my number, always been.
Well, one of the things that I do tell people after I get, when I do workshops and things like that is to tell them to start. Well, you can do that right now, and listeners can, viewers can do that right now. Is pay attention to the numbers that keep showing up in your life. Just think about that. And each number has a certain vibration. In numerology, it goes from 1 to 9. And everything after that is reduced to a single digit. Even if you have a compound like 122, that would be 1, 2, 2, that would be 5. 1 and 2 is 3, 3 and 2 is 5. Except the master numbers, which hold their own vibration. And can I talk a little bit about numerology and, the origin, the genesis of it, and
Sure.
why I believe it? I ask people to walk on the wild side with me for a moment about numerology because it's really based on the belief or let's say the possibility, because nobody knows anything absolutely, right? So it's based on the possibility that we come back over and over again, reincarnation. And what's the purpose of reincarnation?
To learn.
Exactly, to learn spiritual lessons. So before you're born, let's say you're hanging out on this astral plane, and we normally incarnate with our soul groups, and you're hanging out with your soul group, and you decide you're going to be the daughter, and then you're with your parents who may have been your sister, brother, cousin in another life, and you go, okay, this is the deal. In this lifetime, these are the lessons I'm going to learn. Okay, so let's arrange that. And since everything is vibration, and we know that scientifically, this has a vibration, you have everything is vibration, numbers have vibration, letters have vibration. So my name is going to be Dawn Shari
Hallie.
Right. And okay, and that's going to draw certain experiences to me. And so that's how it goes. So your name was imprinted. So the people who are going to be your parents go, got it. Okay, we're going to name you that.
Oh, is that your name? She's looking as if I made it up. You didn't even know my name.
I didn't know Shari Hallie. That sounds like an ice cream.
Isn't that cute, though? It's cute.
Where the hell did this come from?
That's
What's
my
that?
name.
Shari Hallie.
That's my middle
That's your
name.
last name?
Yes.
And you have a middle name?
Yes.
You didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Amazing.
Yes.
So your name pulls in certain vibrations, but the purpose of it, it's a blueprint. It's not etched in stone. And your birthday is etched in stone, yes, but you can change things, as you were talking about. You can change things in your life. It's all a learning experience. But if it's happening to you over and over and over again, whatever it is, and you don't like it, you may want to look at your birth path and your numbers and say, what do I need to change in my life? What are my lessons in this life? Like for me, as an example, my achievement number is a 6. And yeah, I'm meant to do service and help people, but I'm also meant to keep my big mouth shut at times and not interfere. It's like give the information, but if people, don't want to hear it or don't respond, which I've learned that lesson and I'm so grateful for it, just back up. It's like, it's okay.
And what's
whatever.
an 8 year then, right? We've got 2 gentlemen at an 8 year. Paul, we have to figure out what your year is.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, an 8 year, and if anybody's out there and figured out already,
Anybody an 8?
And you guys an 8?
8?
for the next year coming up.
Dominant year.
Yeah,
Right.
you are.
Yeah.
And you are, Freddie.
And Freddie is.
And I was born on the 8th, and my wife was born on
Oh,
the 8th
that's
too.
that's another thing.
Yeah.
How many people in your family have the same birthday? Maybe not the same complete birthday, not the month and day, but how many have that same? Like in my family, it's 13. I'm widowed. My husband had a 13. I was a 13. My kids are both 18. But you find that, or you'll find another relative who has a similar day. So getting back to the both of you, 8 year, that is the 7 year. This year was a time to refigure what it is you really want to do in life, or maybe it's like I got to make some changes. Things either have been stagnant for a while, or I'm coming up with new ideas. You institute maybe a new health plan, or sometimes it is health issues that come up in a 7 year. And so then that's not the year to push ahead with anything. It's an idea time.
7 years?
If you're a 7.
In the 7, like in 2019, right now, you're in a 7 year, you're in a 7 year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how
next
many
year.
years? How many years am I in the 7 year?
One year.
Okay.
The personal years go from January to December.
Gotcha.
And then the astrological houses that I do, there's so many numbers when you do a whole chart. And your chart, even though it was, 13, 14
Yeah.
pages, that's not a whole chart.
Okay, so for them, a 7 year, because we're in 2019 now, we're only in September, so
Right.
there's some more months. What
Yeah.
type of year is this?
Well, as I said, it's a year to reevaluate things. It's a year where you might come up with new ideas that you want to do something. It's getting like, I don't know if I still want to do this. It's people that you haven't seen in a while, probably establishing a connection with you, or somebody you haven't heard from and says, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while.
Like a funeral?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, I'm just touching on every
No,
side.
it's true. I mean, I went to a funeral. That's when I was in my 7 year. That's the year that my husband passed away, and I saw people I hadn't seen in years.
That's happened with my mother and my father. Now, if you push during this year, right, him and I, we push to get further. If the opposite happens when you shouldn't push, you should sit, maybe is what you're saying. You should wait and observe.
You should wait.
And what happens if you push when you shouldn't be observing?
Usually, and again, I'd have to look at the whole chart, but off the top, just telling you about the year itself, it's like a year for you to have patience and not push things and really reevaluate. Use your head to reevaluate, what do I really want? Don't rush into things. And so, a couple of things usually happen. People you haven't seen in a while, as I mentioned, and also sometimes you take an out of the way trip or a trip over water or something unusual. And then there's secrets. Sometimes in a 7-year, depending on the conjunction, there's secrets you might have to keep, or ideas you have percolating and you don't want to share them. So I don't know if that makes sense to either of you.
Right now, I've got a lot that I'm building up to have a big release in 2020. So
that's it.
So that's definitely
So 2020 is the year. As an 8, you push it.
That's the time you push it.
I took January 1st to say we're going to push. And we're going to push harder. And here it is season, and the Super Bowl is upon us right now. And I'm going to keep pushing. The difference with me is I push all the time. I'm looking for different angles and different this and different that. Maybe I should learn more when to push.
Or maybe you're supposed to push into a different direction.
Well, I'm in a 3-year now.
That's very...
Right? Because 2020, I'm going into a 4-year.
Yes.
I'm thinking so.
So it's setting some new foundations for you coming up, is setting some new foundations.
It's 24, and 3 is 27, and 2 is 9, plus 4 is 13, and 3 and 1 is 4. So that's 2020. So I just back one out, and I'm a 3.
Do you think you're going to be working harder this coming year?
Yeah. She better be.
If Freddie's going to be on vacation.
You are not even in the 4th year.
I think there might be like a really big push, coming up, and like a 4 years working harder. And again, what is the beauty of knowing this? And it's just that if you know what the energy is in the vibration, work with it. Don't work against it, and don't okay, oh my God, when is this ever going to end? I could tell you pretty much when it's going to end, just like the United States, what we're going through right now. And
when is it going to end?
When is the 4 going to end?
2020.
Well, okay.
So it's a 4 year. I don't want to go into the U.S. prediction, but it's a 4 year.
Okay, let's not, because I have a lot to say.
We can go back to me.
Is it good or bad? That's all I want to know.
Well, I will tell you that it's all good, because breakdowns lead to breakthroughs, and sometimes that's what has to happen in life, right? If you learn your lesson, unless you're a capadost, as they say in Italian,
half ahead.
Yeah, a breakdown leads to a breakthrough. Looking at things differently. Our biggest problem is we try to force things to happen our way, or we say to people, if you would only do what I think you should do, we wouldn't have a problem. And so when we learn to accept things and let go, it doesn't mean accepting unacceptable behavior, but it just means going with the flow of things. Do your own thing, be kind, be good, send love, don't send hate.
So you see things getting better or things getting worse before they get better?
Oh, you're trying to nail me down to that.
I think it's based on your interpretation of what word better or worse means.
Not the generality.
And we're looking at the numbers of it and the years of what's happening.
Yeah, so we are going through, it pretty much in the numbers it showed going through challenging times, and we're still going to. But if you're asking like a question like, oh, is it all going to come tumbling down? Well, in a sense, yeah, but not right now. So we're good for a little while.
So I should buy Christmas presents.
What's a little while?
Right.
10 years, 5 years?
Oh, definitely. But you know what? If you ask any financial guy, he's going to say the same thing that I could show you in numerology, probably. And I don't.
The adjustments, you mean the whole stock market deal?
Yeah. There's going to have to be adjustments. This year is crazy, and next year is going to be. It's going to be challenging in a lot of ways, but again, I kind of feel like this breakdown to a breakthrough is really, really coming.
No, I have a feeling the market's going to take a tumble simply because the man in the house isn't going to be there, and he knows the buttons to push and how to make people invest in monies that you've never seen before. That's why the market is so high. So there will be a huge adjustment. I'm talking about maybe 10,000 points down.
And again, on that happy note, let's go to commercial break.
That is a happy note. Let me tell you something. If you see
What's happy about that?
If you see a train coming, it's about to hit you. You don't want to know?
See, and I disagree with you.
I hope so.
Give us a call. Let us know your
You don't wanna know?
your numerology, your
Or
birthday.
you don't think the market's going to take a
See
dive?
what's going on with your numbers. 888-994-4995. We'll be right back.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself, give yourself the chance to be heard, and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Hi, my name is Leslie Carmen, and I'm the founder from Carmen Care Laser here in Boca Raton. We've done so many treatments. We've treated people with severe back pain, knee pain. If your pain has been there for so many years, often we just have a tendency to just believe that we're not going to get better.
I had a bad injury with my knee, my left knee, and it is amazing after just 3 treatments. And even after the first treatment, I could tell a huge difference.
We'd love to invite you to come see us and be a part of that. Thank you.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.daniellebuljan.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
And we're back. What happens if you fall on a 10? Like he's a 10.
It's a 1?
It's a 1?
What do you mean he's a 10? Oh, you mean the compound?
Yeah.
Like no, 1 and 0 is 1.
January
14th.
14.
January 14th. Okay, so that wow, that's 15/6, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And next year you go. That's brand new beginnings for you. Brand new beginnings
It's a 1.
for you.
I'm going to
So
play live.
I'm moving along.
you're moving up.
He's a 1.
To the east side. You're moving
A
up.
10 is a 1?
1 and 0 is
He's
1.
cruising along.
What if you're a 0? Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, my.
And
Yeah.
apparently you're an 8, I'm a 4, and we got a lot of work to do next year, is what she said.
Which is so interesting. And remember I said to you about the age and how it showed up, which I wanted to show you how it, but I guess I can show you later, how it actually showed up in your chart, and that's why I was curious about it. Because when I calculate the numbers, or I cast them, whatever you want to call them, I can see dips in different times of your life, and usually those are significant or some changes. And yours, there was a little dip there, and I go, huh, you know, I wonder what happened.
She
I mean,
dips in ice cream cones and stuff.
well,
She
that's
does
she
all that.
asked what happened at 49.
Yeah.
And
right.
at 49 is when I met you, when I started working with you, doing
They call you
2
Dippy
boys.
Hallie.
Thank you.
So,
But that was at 49. That was 4 years ago.
so just to dispel some of the disbelief about this, I think I want to share something really important, because my background years and years and years ago was in the medical field, not clinical, but administrative. And so I had this like linear thought, and then I went to see this incredible numerologist, Kevin Quinn Avery, in New York, and it changed my life because I started getting into Eastern philosophy. So then I started thinking, hey, is there something else going on here? Yogis and people who can control, you know, their bodily functions and everything. So fast forward, I started realizing that we have more ability than you could ever imagine to control certain things in our lives and bring things to us wrote that book. Then I met someone, and I brought this movie Leap to South Florida, and that was in 2010. At one of the showings, a man comes up to the co-creator of the movie, Chad Cameron, and says, I'm a representative for Dr. Edgar Mitchell. And I don't know if you guys remember.
Oh, he's the To the Moon, right?
Right, To the Moon.
Yeah, he actually was the man who was forgotten because he threw a javelin and couldn't get it back.
Right.
And the other guy did the golf, so he's like, the only thing I lost was a golf ball.
Right.
Yeah.
On the moon.
Edgar Mitchell.
Dr. Edgar Mitchell is the sixth man to walk on the moon. So one of his people came to this showing and said to Chad, hey, you know what, Dr. Mitchell would really like to meet with you. And of course, I said, you know, I'm going to this. Because what I knew about Dr. Edgar Mitchell is he had an epiphany on his return moon mission, and he realized, well, a million things, but what he mainly realized is that we're all connected, that energy, we're in this energetic matrix, and we influence each other all the time. There's meetings that happen between people that were destined. So we went to the lunch, and there was a lot of the discussion was honestly way over my head, and it was about quantum physics. And I know less than that. I mean, to understand quantum physics, I went to the library and got the cartoon guide to quantum physics to try and grasp my head around it. So anyway, the conversation was really interesting and lively, and I said, you know, Dr. Mitchell, I have one thing to ask you. And I said things like readings and numerology and astrology and the things that people think are woo-woo and crazy, when they're authentic, because there are a lot of charlatans out there, is there something to it? And is this connected to the quantum field? And he looked at me straight in the eye and he goes, absolutely. And that's all I needed as validation, because I know this works, but by the way, there's nothing that is absolute and works 100% of the time. You can get a reading from someone and maybe most of the things will be right, but there's always going to be something
Change.
Right.
It's like, I'm going to make a movie. You give me an idea. That javelin, when he threw it, where the hell did it go?
It's still up there.
It's in your backyard.
No, he threw it. It's just
It's
going.
somewhere.
Oh, no. It eventually...
It came down?
Yeah, it comes down because it's a quarter of the gravity that we have. So
takes care of
it
the
went
movie.
a lot longer, that's all.
The movie's gone.
But interesting, think about it. Your father, my father,
Went to the moon?
and my son,
They all went to the
all
moon.
have the same birth date.
That's
They're on
There you
November
go.
14th. But all of those three would be starting a 1 year going into 2020, even though they all have different years of birth.
Well, yes, absolutely. They're all going, the overriding energy will be a 1 year, but as you could see, like from your, there's the astrological house transit, there's cycles you're going through, there's letter transits that add to and change exactly what that vibration is going to be.
Dylan, what's your number?
When's your birthday, Dylan?
When's your birthday?
February 9th.
February 9th.
So 9 and 2 is 11.
He's an 11.
He's an 11 too.
You're an 11, Dylan. You've been paying attention? It's important. What about nines? Before we get back to Scott, what about nines?
9 in what realm? As a
They're both nines. Hector, Manuel, and Teddy.
Okay, 9 what? 9 achievement?
Yeah.
The
The
month and
birthdays.
day of birth?
Month and day plus 4.
Oh, the 9 year.
Yeah.
That is, in a 9 year, you got to get rid of what's not working in your life. You're at the end of a 9-year cycle. So whatever isn't work. Now, it could be simple. It could be a move. It could be thinking
pair of
about a move.
sneakers.
It could be.
Could be a pair of sneakers.
But we're going to lose our
Nobody's
whole
on the
by end of
board
today,
next
Freddie.
week.
And there goes Teddy out the board.
It could be the offer of a job with big money or something. No, I don't know. It could be.
It could be anything.
It could be anything, but it's meant whatever. Don't resist the changes. You might have to let go of relationships in a 9-year. I'm going through that right now too. A 9-year, and I'm thinking, is it time to sell my house? Which I don't want to. I've been in it for 19 years, but I know that if I'm going to do it, this is the time. So anything that's not working in your life, let it go. It's good for selling. It's good for moving towards the end of the year. Like if you're going to make a move, you make it more like September, October, November, December. Something like that. I mean, does that make sense to you at all? No?
I'm sure it will in the future.
Well, it should have right. Oh, you're going into a 9-year. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So
Next
what does
year
that
we'll see.
mean if you're going into a 9 that starts in January?
Yes.
So what are you in now, 8 year?
Well, you're in an 8 years,
Yeah.
so are you being recognized in your field at all and being acknowledged for the work that you do?
Well, she's gotten a lot of jobs.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know
Okay.
about.
Maybe, I don't know.
All
Yeah.
right, that's okay.
Well,
It's-
searching in 8 makes 9 better.
If you follow the energy of each year, yeah, it does positively influence it. So after a 9 year, you go through 9 years, okay? After the 9 year, so for you would be next year is your 9 years. The following year, 2021, will be new beginnings. So that then you start that 9 year cycle all over again. And the big secret is, which is not a secret, when you're in a 1 year, you want to make whatever you put into it good because it tends to be around for a while.
Okay, hold on. So I'm going into an 8. So I'm in a 7. I'm going into an 8, and then the following year going to a 9, and then
Yeah.
after that I take 7, 8, and 9, and I blow it up. So I
And
got
what?
3. I got a 3-year window, baby. Is that what you're
You
telling
know
me?
what's so great about it though? If you know, pay attention to that energy and you really push in the 8 year for the things that you want, kind of have blinders on, and that doesn't mean it goes without saying.
I understand what it
You're
means.
not going to hurt
I understand what it
anybody's-
means.
But you were in 11.
Well, he's
I'm 22. I'm 22.
You're
What the
22.
hell am I?
That's-
You were a master number.
have
his
a
birthday's a
question.
master
Okay, but
number.
that's yeah,
That's
you're
different,
right.
right.
You're absolutely right. But that's something else we have to talk about.
That's
but
a different animal. We're talking about the 7, 8, 9
You're
zeros.
talking about the year going
You see,
into
this is
2020.
you push it. Now you're coming up to
A 1.
A 1. So next year's got to be your big year. Everything you've learned, you got to pump it up, baby. So I got a 3-year
I got
window.
another life coming up.
I got a 3-year window to get to that number.
Yeah.
So,
But
now-
there's so much you can do in an 8 year, and in a 9 year, it is great, especially if you're in entertainment, especially, or media,
I'm gonna be on TV.
and not, that is
You watch.
you put your energy, okay, I'm going with you, by the way, because
You
I
come.
have a new year, new beginnings, I have an idea for a show, I have a movie.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm all in. Now the other question, I'm really interested about the aspect you talked about. You're hanging around to pick a soul.
Yeah.
To what?
Pick a soul. You choose your soul
To-
family.
Yes, correct, before
And it could
you
be
incarnate.
a new family. It could be something that you've
Usually the
experienced.
people that you incarnate with, your soul group, they call it, you come back over and over with
This is your birth family, correct?
yeah, those people,
Your parents,
right,
your
and-
brother, your sister.
right, cousins, relatives, close friends, chances are you've been incarnating with them for years, and then other people kind of come in and out and add to it, but your soul group is pretty huge. But there are people, like, you can meet someone and say, why do I feel like I've known them forever? Because you probably have.
That's that deja vu, and why I know.
Yes.
Okay, because you've been there before. But my question that I want to ask you, you pick, because I learned this lesson from someone it's a library, and in this library you want to strengthen that which you have is a weakness.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Your karma number.
Okay, whatever you want to call it. I'm not into all of those things.
You can
Yeah,
take
I
the
know.
book home and read it.
So my question is this: if you don't know your birth parents, if you don't know because of whatever circumstances, that doesn't change the equation, does it?
No, not
It stays
at all.
the same.
Right.
It still makes you a part of that equation that you started out with. You're still an 8, 9, 0, 1, whatever.
Right.
And it doesn't diminish you as a person, does it?
No, not at all. We learn different ways. You don't have to get your chart done to understand your lessons in life. Life will very graciously present those opportunities for you to learn your lesson. The numerology is a blueprint. It might help you. And here's a really good example, because I'm also, I coach people. I'm a board certified life coach, and people come in, sometimes they want their chart done. So somebody who says to me, I'm an accountant and I've had this happen, and I'm good at it, but I am so tired of doing this. But, I heard the messages when I was a kid: get a good job, get it, a 9 to 5 job, put your, time in. And okay, what do you like to do? What you like to do when you're a kid? So we go into this whole thing, and I find out that, yeah, they really want to paint, or there's something they want to do that's really expressive. But that was never acknowledged when they were a kid. Don't do that. You're not going to make any money. Bottom line, if I look at their chart, I see, voila, and this is really, I'm one of those people. I have a 3 life path. I am not meant to sit behind a desk from 9 to 5. It will kill my spirit.
How do you know what your life path is? Is that through your name?
Your full birth date, because what's your full birth date again? I mean, what was it? What's your life path?
My life path.
That's an interesting concept, Can you also, in here, does it talk about how your romantic life is?
Yeah, if people are interested in knowing that specifically, yeah. Yeah, and some years are better than others.
14-5.
Can you imagine being on a cruise and find out you're in the toilet?
Your life path is 14-5. Okay, that's changes. That's a lot of changes. And then for you, the lesson is to learn to let go of things, not have to have them a certain way.
I know. Good luck with that.
But the 5 is so exciting. The numbers are all, it's like life. We live in a dual world here. There's fire is good, fire is bad. Numbers give and they take. That's why I always stress, you want to go with the flow of whatever that energy is. So with 14-5 is great for living a life of adventure and meeting new people and exciting. The other side of it is you got to learn how to let go of things. Be careful not to get so stuck on something that you become obsessed with it, or not overindulging in things. So it's just
Are you like that? Overindulging?
I don't really overindulge,
no?
But I do get stuck in
I
a hard
can take
time
a piece
letting
of paper
things go.
and the things that I've witnessed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
You get a little carried away.
I do get stuck on things and letting things go for sure.
Yeah, so that's your lesson. That's, again, you can learn that through repeated experiences in life, or you can learn it through your birth chart.
Well, there is that old expression, if you don't learn the lessons of life, you keep getting the same exam over and over again.
You keep doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah. I was going to ask you, if you run into the same scenario over and over again, is that the lesson that you should be learning?
Chances are, I would say unequivocally, yeah.
So I also want to say, I do a show called Sarah Spiritual, and I got about 400 people that call.
Sure, I know Sarah very well.
Sarah's a good friend, and she's I've done that show for 3 years. And people call in about their love life and on and on and on. And I just wanted to reiterate that sometimes making your adjustment of what you give out sort of changes your numbers. This is why I'm asking you. There's a perfect balance on numbers. Numbers are going to be consistent.
Yes.
But we can change it. It's like walking on ice because of how you give off, and you change this number, which now affects this number, which now affects this number, and there you be.
Right. It's learning. You want to flow into the positive aspects of those numbers. You don't want to be living or reacting you don't want to react, period, in life. You want to respond, you don't want to react, but you want to live in the positive energy of those vibration, those numbers, not the challenging part.
You're the second person in my life who has told me the same thing about me.
You should do your life path number, Freddie.
What?
So you add them all up together?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Put your pen down.
Or pink pen.
Put your pen down.
All right. So if people want to contact you to have this service done, how do they get in touch with you?
They can call me or text me at 954-444-6955, or you can reach me at michellelanders.com. Or if you want to email, it's michellelanders@bellsouth.net. And that's Michelle with 1 L, by the way.
You're not the Michelle Landers from the Daily News, are you?
Maybe.
In a prior life? Like 20, 30 years ago?
Let me tell you something interesting about you.
Hold it.
No.
Is that you?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm kidding.
You look just like her.
I do?
I wouldn't be asking you if you didn't.
Okay,
she wore her hair and everything.
But listen, your life path is a 22, and your birthday is an 11. So you want to talk about numbers?
I thought my birthday was a 22.
Yeah. Well,
What's my number? 22, 11? What the hell am I?
Michelle, if we add all his numbers up, he's a 22.
Okay.
What does that mean? Michelle, don't look at me and say, okay. Am I in trouble?
Well, that really depends.
Oh, it's a feast of famine question.
Do you
Scott,
know what?
you thought you were going to run into this today, Scott?
Here,
with your show, anything can happen.
Anything happen?
So
Okay, so I'm gonna lay it
That's
on
your
the
life
line.
path.
Hold on, she's laying me down on the line.
22-4, master number. 11, master number. You are meant to create on a bigger platform and a bigger scale in this life. And if you don't do that, then you're just going to have to come back with more challenges.
No, I ain't coming back. We're doing it now. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm getting a little restless.
So that's what you need to do. You need to find out which, in your chart, you should tell you the different areas that you need to work on. You work on those areas and you'll fly.
Damn. Do you know, I'm going to tell you, I told my mother when I was 18, I
He
said,
hates it
Mom,
when I take out a pen.
yeah, put the pen down. I told my mother when I was 18, because I used to love Freddie Prinze. I said, Mom, one day before you die, you're going to see me on TV. And if you don't see me on TV, the film, I'm going to put it in your grave. This is what I told her. So, I got 3-year window, baby. I guarantee you I'm going to be on TV. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. You can throw rocks at me. It makes no difference. We going. I'm going to be there.
Okay, so this is my belief, that your belief is where it's at. If you believe that and as long as, I don't know what your childhood was like and what messages you heard when you were a kid.
We'll sit down and have a cup of coffee on that one.
So it's all about getting rid, because everybody that I see, I would say 99.9% of the people that come to me for coaching, okay, if they're having an issue, they feel blocked, tell me about your childhood. It's all there.
It's everything's there.
It's
I'm alive
absolutely.
3 times when I should have died. When I was 2, I shouldn't even be here. Okay? As I grew up, and there was another death, and then recently, about 3 years ago, was another one that I shouldn't. I was told by medical doctors I shouldn't be here. I said, we ain't done yet.
Psychologically,
your number's not up yet then.
Right. No pun intended,
No pun
right?
intended.
Pun intended.
psychologically, the first 6 years of your life determines the rest of what's going to happen.
I had a tough 6 years. The first 6
Yeah.
years of my life was tough. It was
Yeah.
touch and go for me for a while. But you know what? What I discovered, if you worry about it, nothing happens. I mean, it gets worse. So don't worry about it. Just go forward and do what you got to do. But I love what I do for a living. I love it. And if people say, oh, you don't really work, okay. I haven't worked in 45 years.
I get that because I love what I do. I'm in love with it. I love it.
And you're
I
good
love
at it.
writing. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you're Ann Landers from the Daily News. I know you are. I'm going to look it up and show you.
Michelle.
How do people get your books?
They can get them on Amazon or they can contact me.
And everyone wants this book. Yes, it is not
Dude.
easy. It is easy reading, though, actually,
And you know
because
what?
you can work through it.
I wanted to mention something. You pronounced it correctly, that was so great. It's
The Tao
called
of
the Tao of Numbers. People say,
Tao.
yeah.
I kept saying Tao all morning.
Yeah, it's the Tao. It's pronounced D-O-W. And the Tao simply means the way of numbers.
Is your life as organized as what you put in these books? Are you an organized individual? You know what you want, you know where you're going, you see the future, the whole nine?
Pretty much, but I get sidetracked because I'm a 3, and a 3, just like this year for the United States, it's scattered. There's so much stuff going on. So I always have to, I am so grateful that I know this about myself because I have to rein myself in, because I would rather just be sitting there philosophizing all the time and talking with people and having conversations.
us.
And I would not even want to worry about, gee, well, I have to do the business side of it, you know?
Right.
So if you're a 3 and you meet somebody who's a 9 and you make an 11, good things happen? I'm just asking.
It's true. It's really true. I mean,
Is that
numbers.
It's true.
It
You guys
is
are
true.
laughing at me. I'm telling you.
There's compatibility in numbers,
true.
But like and one thing I wanted to say, you brought up something really important about children and knowing their names, because I do these really, I think they're just from my heart, baby destiny charts they're called, because you can have a child whose name is, I'll use Matthew as an example, because Matthew has a lot of power to it, that name. And you'd be going, oh my God, this kid is all over the place. He's running all over. What do I do? He's going to be a wild man. And if you had his chart done, and again, that's only a piece of it, I would tell you he's an adventurer, similar to some of the things for you. He's an adventurer. He wants to taste, touch, and feel all of life. Encourage that. Move some of the things out of the way that you don't want broken, but take him different places. Expose him to other things. That's why.
That's based on the name?
Yeah, and the birthday.
Does it work with animals? Because I had a dog named Matthew, and so
Was
and
he
you
a little,
described
was he
him
a
well,
little
but
crazy? Was he a little
he was so
all over?
super smart, actually.
I got a question. Aren't animals spirits of man and women? Don't they have human spirit in them?
They have. Okay, I don't know the answer to that question. I have different people that say different things. There's an idea that there's like this hierarchy. You know, you start as whatever. You know.
go up.
There is a synergy between animals, pets.
Oh.
Have you ever
yeah.
looked at an animal's face? I mean, look at it. You can actually see the
Their
person.
eyes?
Just look at them. It's there. I know,
I
I'm
think
crazy.
Michael's are. Every Michael I know is a little like a Matthew.
Michael?
I don't know
Really?
any calm
Really?
Michaels.
Really?
You don't know what kind of Michael
Every
is?
Michael I know, it's like
I know.
boom,
Oh,
out
high
there.
strung.
out there,
High
high strung, going like full force, like a cyclone.
I got a name for you. Rowan. Never heard that name before in my life.
Roland?
Rowan.
Rowan.
How is it spelled?
R-W-A-N.
A-N. Rowan.
Okay.
Never
okay.
heard that
I
name
gotta look
before.
at the
That's my
numbers.
that's
Want some
my
numbers?
grandson's name. Never
Okay.
heard of that before in my life.
Well, you know, he's probably, without knowing the rest of his name, just the Rowan, R-O-W-A-N.
It all
you
goes
said?
in here.
What is that?
This is how you figure out the numbers.
Oh, she was about to give me something.
I'm just gonna tell you.
Relax.
So I think he's going to be a sensitive kid, you know, a nice kid, a sensitive kid, but he's also, with that W in there, the W's, they're the
terrors.
adventurer.
Terrors. You can tell me.
They're
It's
not
okay.
terrors.
Oh, they're terrors.
They're adventurers.
No, this is a
They're
terror right
adventure.
here. You're a
They're-
terror, doing.
They're adventurers. They
I
really
can't believe
are.
this is your last name. Holy smoke.
You know, laughing, it was Rowan and Martin.
Was it Rowan and Martin?
Yeah,
that's
as a
right.
reference. So
Really?
Yeah.
What, are you like a history buff?
I just remember everything. So
Do you have a
Wow.
photographic memory?
no, but when
You know, Scott, this conversation is going downhill real fast.
when I need something, it comes to me
It's like
Okay.
Hector.
at the right time. So
That was his last name, though.
yeah, it was.
What about Paul? Is Paul significant? Isn't Paul an apostle?
Okay, yeah, he definitely he was. Paul's, the first letter means something too. You know, it has a lot, you know, like D for Don. You like to get things done, you know, and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
reliable, and, you know, your word is your
That's you.
bond,
Yeah, that's
you
her.
know.
Pain in my dawn.
You know, Paul. So get to Paul. P's, they can be a little bit secretive, and they can kind of hold things in a little bit. And they also they need their alone time. That doesn't mean that other people don't. You know, people say, "Well, I need my alone time." Well, let me look at your name, and I'll tell you how much alone time you like and you need. But P's they're thinkers. They analyze things more so than maybe another person. You know, because P has well, I'm not going to go into that. It's just like P's. Anybody with Peter, Paul. You know.
Well, I was told, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that the apostles all share one number, but never told me what it was. But if you know it, give me a call.
Their first names, you mean?
No, they all had different names, but they all
But
shared.
they all may add up to the
How
same.
One secret.
interesting.
One, they had not that they knew Christ, but they all shared one
Number? I am going to look into that. That is really interesting.
Michelle, you also have a show that airs on Facebook.
Yeah, on Sundays, although we took a little bit of break, the hurricane.
What kind of show?
It's talking about all of this stuff, you know, how to make your
Miraculously.
life better.
Really?
Yeah.
How to make your life better?
Well, that's not the name of it. It's your life lived miraculously, and the things that we deal with, and most of it all revolves around, you know, pretty much not allowing other people to trigger you. Understand that, you know, people are everybody is just they're being who they are. Like, you know, if somebody says, "Oh, you know, she's always sarcastic, she's always this, she's being her." You don't have to be triggered by
I had that conversation with my sister the other day.
Really?
I'm like, don't get so upset over it. She is a snake is going to bite. She is going to be her. Okay, so
like that-
why expect anything more? And ice cream is going to
Right,
melt.
right.
Oh, I didn't expect the ice cream to melt, but they always do. So get that through your head. Remember that.
It's like
Right.
water is
Perfect.
wet.
Yeah.
Water
It's
is
always
wet.
going to be wet.
Yeah.
It's like that story with the mouse, the rat, and the snake, and took them across the lake and ate them. And why'd you eat me? Because I'm a snake.
There you have it.
And meditating. That's so
How do you meditate?
important.
Do you do transcendental meditation?
Well, I have in the past. That's not necessarily what I do now, because that transcendental is with a mantra, you know, that you get your own mantra. But meditating is, if you believe in any of this and you believe that you want to be more miraculous in your life and creating more miracles and more of what you want, less of what you don't want, meditating is key.
How do you do that?
You get quiet, and if you can't get quiet, there's ways to learn how to do that. And even if it's 5 minutes a day to clear your head, because you open up that channel, you don't want that channel to the divine and to that energy that's going to come through the quantum field to be corroded, like an artery with plaque, you know?
Right.
Yeah, so you know about this.
So go on a riverboat cruise.
Go on a riverboat
Call
cruise.
Paul.
Right.
You go on this riverboat cruise, you may not come back.
Is this who
Yeah.
you're thinking of, Freddie?
No. It is a round trip.
It's a round trip.
So
not a
Paul, are
one-way
you a
thing.
thinker? Are you an analyzer
Maybe it's
about
one of
things?
those.
I absolutely am.
Yeah. Her name's Michelle.
I did. She could change her name. She's all about the name.
We're still on Ann Landers.
This looks just.
That's me?
And then this picture's about 30 years old, but yeah.
Give Paul a call
me
to
see
book your
that
next travel
picture.
excursion
Look at
if you
it
want
here,
more
yeah.
information on Alaska or Mexico.
Says Dear Abby.
Give him a call, 561-232-2626. You can follow Michelle Landers. You can get her books on Amazon, The Tao of Numbers and The Year of Living Miraculously. And Scott, we didn't even get into what you do, but more to come with Scott.
One other day.
Some new marketing, some new restaurants. You're going to find us more on location with Scott.
That's right.
Have a great day, everyone. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, back in Studio A. I don't know what we're doing tomorrow,
We'll figure it out.
but we'll find out. Have a great day. Be kind to each other.
And don't be late.
Are you ready for the challenge? Do you know what's coming? Are you ready to become a healthier you in 12 weeks? Welcome to Shred Zone. Shred Zone Fitness offers a personalized training program that you can do. With 30 minutes of time and online daily support, motivation, and a customized, easy, and flexible program designed with you in mind. Contact us at ShredZoneOnline.com and Shred Zone Fitness Studio, 561-331-2059. Shred Zone Online gives you 24/7 access to your personal trainer, personalized nutrition suggestions, strength training, and weekly accountability. Contact Shred Zone today at 561-331-2059. Let Shred Zone shred you to a better health. ShredZoneOnline.com or 561-331-2059.